Hi everyone. I bought this rocket stove about 2 years ago and I thought it was high time I did a review actually. I'm not one of those people that it's been sent out to for free and I'm doing a review. I purchased this myself and I've been using it regularly over the 2 years and just fancied doing it, to be honest. I'm going to be cooking breakfast today. I'm going to be doing my eggs in these two wee cast iron pots here. I purchased these off the internet a number of years ago. I thought they were bigger. The picture, you know, they look bigger than what they are, and I've never known what to use them for, so I just thought I'd do the eggs in here today. Right, so really what I wanted to do was the pros and cons, and I'm going to make this really simple. I can't really find any cons with this. If you're going to be picky, you know, it's a bit heavy to take out to the woods, say on a hike. That's not really what it's for. It's more for use camping. I could put this in the back of the car boot if I wanted and take it with me, have an impromptu cook somewhere. Don't need to take much wood. It's very economical on fuel. This top bit's cast iron and it's rusted, but that's not the fault of the rocket stove, that's my fault. I needed to store it in a dry place and I thought I had, but it had actually condensation and a bit of drip and it's got a bit rusty. It's no bother. Once I get the fire going, it'll burn off and then I'll make sure I oil it up before I store it somewhere differently. So that's going to be great. We're going to cook on top of this. That goes on there. Principle behind the eggs. I don't know what you'd call this, baking the eggs, or it's like a frittata or a egg muffin, but more baking I think. They're going to just go on the end. The bottom heat, it's going to be less hot here on either end, more central heat there, and I want these to warm through and just cook the egg. We'll see if it works. If it doesn't, I'll just fry off a couple of eggs on top. So this is brilliant, this bit here. This is what you use to rest your wood on to feed it. With two chambers. So this is to feed the wood through there, and this just collects the ashes and the coals and things like that. Another good thing about this unit is when I go camping, I go to an area where I'm not allowed to have a fire, but I'm actually allowed to use this. It doesn't leave any marks on the grass. There's no really naked flame anywhere, no danger at all, but you can still have that little wee fire, and you can also fire cook then as well. And I go to a campsite and she said it was fine. She doesn't like open fires on the ground or anything like that, but you can use that, so that's actually a really good bonus. So one thing that people say about the EcoZoom rocket stove is that it doesn't produce smoke. To me that's a slight myth. It comes down to the user, and that's the point. If you're doing an impromptu cook, you've got this unit in the back of your car and you stop somewhere and you want to cook your lunch and you don't have any wood with you, so you're collecting wood from a woodland. Quite often beggars can't be choosers, you know, you're only going to be able to use what's available to you. Sometimes it's going to be wood like this. This is slightly damp, it's got moss, it's going to smoke, doesn't matter what you do. So for today's burn, I'm using wood that's been prepped quite well. It's been seasoned, it's been chopped, cut, it's devoid of bark or moss. It's going to burn cleanly, that. That's going to be smokeless. That's going to produce smoke, twigs and wood like that. If you've just not got a choice, that's what it's going to do. Anyway, I think what we'll do, we'll just take a quick little close look, get the fire going. So I've never failed to get a fire going in this, but the first time I did have a fire I had small twigs and birch bark and things, and this grate here, they're quite big holes, and stuff did fall down into the chamber below, and it almost went out, but I've never failed. Today I'm going to be using that wood that I just showed you, and I'm also, instead of getting birch bark or paper, I'm going to be using a couple of fire lighters that I got. Because the wood's a bit bigger, if I was in a woodland right now, I'd put some wood down on that grate just to stop the you know, at the start of the fire from dropping through and losing your materials there. But I think today, because the wood's quite big and I've got those fire lighters, I won't have a problem getting that going. So I think, how about I get this fired up for you? So you can see that it's smoking. That will disappear because of the quality of wood I've got. It's going to smoke initially, but that'll go. Super easy to get started. Pretty much no smoke now. Gonna put this on top, start cooking breakfast. I'm just gonna get a wee egg mix made up. Just gonna add a little bit of milk. A little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper. A little bit of paprika. Give it a good mix. Mixing that, I'm going to put this on now. Get that nice and warm. And into the egg mix I'm just going to put some cheese. The longer bits of wood that you can get like that, the better, because you just keep feeding them through. That's what the beauty of that is. Just going to put a little bit of oil inside these. Now cast iron's non-stick. I don't know if I'm going to be able to tip these up and put the eggs on the plate, or we can always eat them straight out of these two little dishes. So eggs, milk, seasoning, paprika and cheese. Lovely. They will rise a little bit, I think, so lid on. First job done. We'll get one at each end just to balance it out. Normally I use pouring oil, but today I'm just going to use a spray. Sausages are nearly done, so I've moved them right to the end. I'm actually going to put some proper oil in this to get that going like that. And now of course you can see that the eggs are leaking out of that, so that's because it's so hot. So I'm just going to move them to the side. Nearly done. The haggis has just gone on. The eggs are bubbling out over these wee pots, so I've obviously overfilled them a wee bit. You can see that's right up to the brim. It's starting to bubble away. That's just the process of learning. You can see how good this EcoZoom is by the heat that that's producing. Look at that. Crazy hot there. Wow, this is just crazy hot. This is absolutely, I mean, everything's cooking so quickly. Wowee, the heat in this is incredible. Sometimes when you do outdoor cooking, things don't quite go to plan. That's just the way it is. Those eggs are nearly done, but they're really filled up those things there. I'm gonna keep going. I'm determined to make that work. Okay, everything's ready. Just gonna take it off now. That is just so hot. Quite ironic that I've cooked on this for 2 years and every time it's been fantastic, and the one time I do a review I just go a bit OTT on the heat there. The speed at which everything cooked, you just, oh look at that, doesn't matter. Ow! The speed at which everything cooked was just crazy. Absolutely. Ha ha ha! Interesting. Shall we just have a little peek of this one? Oh yes, look at that. That's cooked through. Wow, that was madness. It got so hot. That's my fault. I put too much wood in and it just, the heat got to it. You know, I'll go and do an EcoZoom review rocket stove and I'll try something a little bit different and it all comes out over the top and the smoke and everything. So that's outdoor cooking. You know, I could go and reshoot this and make it look all perfect and nice, but that's just the way it is. Hasn't stuck to the side of the cast iron thing. It's delicious, really. Anyway, I love the EcoZoom. It's brilliant to cook on. All the breakfasts I've done, no problem at all. And this was probably the hardest one I've done just because of trying to time something different. And but you know, it's great fun, to be honest. That's me finished breakfast. Thanks for watching this video. I'm just going to clean up now. That's me done. The EcoZoom rocket stove is brilliant, I have to say. Very economical, doesn't leave any mess, very easy to use. I made it look a little bit tricky today. That's just what I've done today. So, yep, that's me. See you next time.